What's up, YouTube? Jamal Butler here with B&G's Workshop. In today's project, we are going to make this broadsword. My middle son, has been bugging me for a while now. He really got into the knights and the round table and all that kind of stuff, and he's 9 years old. And he wanted me to make him a shield and a sword, so I started off with the sword. Now, as you can tell, this sword is about 3 foot long. It's about 38 inches long from tip to tip. And obviously, a 1,000mm X-carve can only do about 30 inches. So, in order to cut this out and make it the length that I wanted to make it, the size that I wanted to make it, I had to incorporate in a scarf joint. So, in today's video, I'm going to go over how I set up the scarf joint using Adobe Illustrator, and then we import that into easel and cut it out on the X-carve, and I'll show you how we put the sword together. So, let's get started.
So we're going to set up the scarf joints for this sword right here. The first thing we're going to need to do is draw us a square. Now our sword is 3 inches wide, so we're going to draw a square 3 inches by 3 inches. And we're going to place it right here at the end of the bottom piece of the sword. Now we're going to go around in a bit, but this is where we're going to start. After we draw our square, the next thing we want to do is draw a couple of lines. The first line we want to put on the left hand side of the square, and we want it dead center of this path. So as you can see, I'm intersecting the line and I'm also intersecting the center of the square. So I'm going to draw my line from here. Now I'm going to draw a 0.75 inch line, and we're going to draw it at 0 degrees. Now that I've got that, we're going to draw 4 more lines. First, we're going to start here at the anchor in the upper right hand corner of the square, and again it's 0.75, and we want to bring that line straight down, so 270 degrees. And now we're going to go to the lower right hand corner, and same thing, 0.75, and now we're at 90 degrees. Now 2 more lines. So we drew this line in as a reference point. We're going to come to the anchor here, and you see we click to it, and we're going to start another line, 0.75 inches, and we're going to draw this at 180 degrees. And now we come up to here, and we will find the anchor from that other line we drew, click it, and again 0.75 inches and 180 degrees. Alright, so now that we have those drawn, we need to draw 3 circles. So we'll come to our rectangle tool, select ellipse, and now we're going to draw 3 circles. These circles are going to be 1 inch in diameter, and we will draw 3. So now that we have these 3 circles drawn, all we're going to do is simply place them at the ends of these 3 lines. So I'm going to grab my center point and intersect on the end of these 3 lines. So now that we have them in place, we can delete out all of these lines that we drew. So this is honestly the shape for our scarf joint. The only thing we need to do now is we need to change the cut depths in easel, and easel references cut depths based off of a grayscale. So the darker the gray is going towards black, the deeper it's going to cut. So we want this main square right here to be cut that it is only half the thickness of whatever it is, the thickness of the material that we have. So what we want to do is select over here, and here where it says RGB, we're going to type in 127.5, and that gave us, this is the middle range of gray that Adobe Illustrator can produce with the color scaling that I have right now. It's 255 color management, so 255 divided in half, 127.5, and that's how we got our color right here. Next, we need to adjust the color of these 3 circles. Now on this side, we're going to make this circle white because we do not want it to cut at all. This circle and this circle, we want it to cut all the way through, so we're going to change that to black. So essentially what we have here is we have this square is going to get cut out halfway through. This circle is not going to get cut at all. It's going to leave that as a protrusion. These two circles are going to cut all the way through the material. So now that we have this, we're going to slide it over and let it intersect with the end of the sword. And we need, as always, to make the end of this joint. So we're going to make a copy, and we are going to bring it over to the top end of the sword. And the same thing, we're going to let it intersect with the top portion of the sword. Now, as you can see right now, this sword, well, this pin right here will go into this hole. So obviously we don't want this to be a protrusion on this side. We want it to cut all the way through. So on this one we will highlight and we will turn it black. These two circles we want to be protrusions because they will line up inside of these two holes over here, so we will turn them white. Now when this all cuts out, this piece up here will be flipped over, placed over this end, and the holes will line up and create our joint. Import the files to easel and cut them out. Using a hobby knife, we part out the pieces and trim off the excess. Using a file and sandpaper, we clean up all the joints to fit. Here I use my belt sander to round over the edges of the handle. Now we glue everything together. Use a hammer and a scrap of wood to ensure the scarf joint fits tightly together. Finish off your sword with a good sanding to make sure everything's nice and smooth.
Alright guys, so there you have it. We have this nice broadsword, about 36 inches long, and as you can see, the scarf joint is very strong, very secure, and finish it off. Probably won't even really tell us there. My plans are to take some aluminum HVAC tape and cover the blade of the sword so that it'll be nice and metal, maybe wrap the handle with some leather, but that's something that's going to be for a different day, not today. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want, please comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Give me some suggestions. Point out things that I can change. Make everything better for me, you, everyone else. From all of us at B&G's Workshop, and from myself, thanks for watching.